Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are here to make our predictions for the 10 qualifiers from semi-final 2.
So we've discussed beforehand which 5 countries we think are the most certain qualifiers, which we agree on. And these are Austria, Australia, Slovenia, Lithuania and Georgia. With Austria, it's the big fan favourite. It's one of the big pop songs in the semi-final. I think the dance choreography is going to attract lots of votes. So in televote only semi-final, I can't see how this won't qualify bar something horrible happening on stage.
It's definitely a full package, so we know they can sing, they will make a huge live performance, like you said. It's very visual as well, so they will be all over this song. So the second that we can talk about is Lithuania. I feel like in this semi-final, this song will stand out. The Lithuanian diaspora will be all over the song. It's very strong. They will give loads of votes for her. The song is alright. It's not one of my favorites from the semi-final, but no doubt she will qualify for the grand final.
For a ballad / mid-tempo-y song, I think it's really catchy with the Tuto Tuto chorus. It's got a fantastic running order slot. And if you compare this to the other big female ballad in this semi-final, which is Estonia, I feel Lithuania is a lot warmer, a lot more inviting, and I think
it's not so dated as well.
I wouldn't say Estonia is dated. I feel like Lithuania is the more Eurovision stereotype, but in this situation, I think it's going to get a lot more votes than Estonia will do.
So we can say about Georgia now.
I think with Georgia, her vocals at the pre-party were one of the best, and she's going to be one of the best performers. And considering the pre-party stages are often very underproduced, the fact she did so well on them means once she gets to the big stage in Liverpool, I think she's going to wow everyone. In the studio version, I think while the Georgian song is all quite one level, there's not much dynamism, this will be something they can correct on the stage, and I think it's going to sound a lot better on the stage than it does on the CD.
So, as you said, Ryan, Georgia's pre-party were very strong. She really delivered very good vocals. So, I feel like she will definitely have a great staging as well. Georgia will not mess about this year. They will deserve to finally be at the grand final. Great song, great vocals, and the staging will be there, so no doubt that she will be at the grand final. So the next one is Slovenia. The song really stands out. They are very charismatic. The song is catchy. Even not being in English, I feel like it's very accessible. Their live performance is very strong, so I think they will be back to the grand final.
I think the fact that we've seen that live performance from EMA in February makes us all very confident that we know they're going to deliver live, and I think it's the strongest of the male band songs, and for me I think it's a certain qualifier. I won't be surprised if it's top 3.
Okay, and the last one is Australia. They're closing the show. I've been watching few of their live performance. They are very strong. They will have loads of pyros, fireworks. They will definitely be fighting for top 3 in this semi-final. I do think it's gonna happen the same as Czechia last year. They will come and they will slay it.
Australia's not one of my favourite songs, but yeah, I can see why it will be a fantastic performance in the arena, and being on last, no one's going to forget it, and it's definitely going to get enough votes to qualify. Now, if we go on to the 2 songs we both agree are very unlikely qualifiers, these are Romania and San Marino. San Marino, the only proper live performance we have is still from the national final, which wasn't the best of qualities. But from what we've seen over the past few weeks, they are very good live performers, and I think they're going to put on a very professional performance. But say coming after the running couple of songs after Slovenia, I don't think the song is
strong enough.
as good as Slovenia's.
Comparing the songs, I feel like Slovenia's song is miles away from San Marino. So if last year they didn't qualify, and in my opinion they had a better song, with a televote they didn't make top 10, this year I definitely not see them getting through. The next one is Romania. I do like his voice, but as I said, with San Marino, the song, the Romania's song, is not very appealing. It's not catchy. Even if I have to sing the song now, I can't even remember. So I feel like it's going to be very forgettable.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said about Romania, which is a shame because they had a couple of really good big contenders in their national final. I really liked Blah Blah Blah, and I think that would have had a chance, although I do think Poland would have stolen that vote too. But more on Poland later, because we have also agreed on 2 further countries we think are going to not qualify, but are a bit more borderline, and these are Estonia and Iceland. Now, with Estonia, we've briefly mentioned that earlier in terms of in the battle against Lithuania, it isn't as inviting. She's an amazing singer, and I do think the song is very classy and very well produced and orchestrated, but where is it in the running order?
So
it's on very early as well, isn't it? So I do think it could get forgotten, and unfortunately Estonia could miss out on the final this time.
So honestly, when I heard Estonia's song for the first time, I was really into the song. After a while, I do find the song a little bit dated. It's that kind of songs when you listen a few times, you just get bored. At the end of the day, in the semi-final, the majority of the audience will listen to the song for the first time. So it will be appealing, but comparing to the other ones, I feel like they will forget the song as well. I'm not really sure about this entry. She can sing, they will deliver a very strong performance, but I feel like they will end up out of the grand final.
With Iceland, I do have to think back to their, I think it was 2017 entry, Svala. In terms of her performance, I believe she was just on the stage doing some quite artistic moves, and from what we saw in the Iceland national final, Dilja's is quite similar. I think the song is more accessible than Paper was. I think it's going to get more votes than Paper did, but will it be enough to get into the top 10 without some big overhaul of staging? I don't think it will.
They will definitely struggle to be in this top 10. Unfortunately, because the song is great, I just feel like they've got stronger songs in the semi-finals, so I wouldn't be surprised if she would make this grand final.
Now, if we move on to the songs that we both agree will qualify but are more borderline than the ones we mentioned at the beginning, we are looking at Cyprus, Denmark and Poland. Now, lots of people have Poland not qualifying, I've seen. I think people are quite biased by what happened in the national final. If you take the song as itself, I think it's a very easygoing song.
It's very catchy.
It's very instant. I think her performance was decent.
Yeah, obviously. The majority of the audience will not know what happened in the Polish national selection. So the song has got this summery vibe. People want that kind of songs. They are always trending. So I feel like she will have the support of the televotes. Not that much from the jury, but from the televote, and in this case, it's just televote. She will be there in the top 10. And the Polish diaspora, they are all over Europe, so they will support her. I
Just
hope.
look at Albania and Cyprus last year, who would have qualified with, if it was televote only. Both of them were up-tempo pop performances that maybe didn't have the best vocals or the best staging production, but they would have both qualified. So I don't see why Poland can't follow in those footsteps.
So the next one is Denmark. In my top 10, they are in 10th place. I was a little bit, I didn't know which one, if it was Estonia or Denmark. I do feel like the Danish song is more appealing. He's very charismatic as well. I feel like the young generation will like this song, they will vote for him, so he might make the grand final, and he does sings well, and the song is quite catchy as well and trending. So
Denmark's song is one of the most modern of the contest. It's something you would hear in the charts today, and it's not ideal going on first. I don't think it's the best opener, and I think it would have benefited from having juries because it is so modern and chart friendly. They would have rewarded that. But yeah, I think there's enough of a target audience there to make sure he can squeeze through to the final. Now, finally, we have Cyprus, who we know is likely to benefit from Australia and Greece being in this semi-final. But from what we've heard, we haven't seen any pre-party performances, but from what we've heard on YouTube videos, he can sing this song very well. And Cyprus usually have good staging. So
and Cyprus normally always qualify from the televotes, so they always got top 10, so I don't feel like this year will be different. The song is a strong ballad. I feel like he sings well, great staging, so it would happen like last year. They will manage to qualify for the grand final.
I agree. So that leads us on to 4 countries which we completely disagree on whether they will qualify or not. For me, I have Belgium and Albania as qualifiers, but you have gone for
Armenia and Greece. I don't feel like the Belgium song will be at the grand final. We definitely got stronger songs. The song is catchy, is delivering a very good performance. I presume it's going to be similar of his national selection, but I can't see the public voting for him. I feel like Armenia is so much more appealing. I know they will perform in seconds, but people will still remember about her song and her performance, her vocals. I feel like they got a full package to qualify, and in this kind of situation you need to start comparing songs, and Belgium, for me, their song this year is one of the weakest, so I definitely see them out of the grand final.
I think if you look at the running order for the first half of the second semi-final, Belgium is the only proper up-tempo there. And if you look at the impact Moldova had in last year's final, coming after a run of ballads, it absolutely got loads of televotes. Obviously, I don't think Belgium will do as well as Moldova did, but I think there is something different enough there that will make sure it stands out enough to get into the top 10. With Albania, they've often surprised us by qualifying. I don't think many people predicted them qualifying in 2018 or 2019. And it is memorable because no one else has their whole family on stage. And I think some countries, some target audiences could resonate with that. And they have Sacha Jean-Baptiste's group doing the staging. And I think the staging is the weakest part of the package at the moment, because if you listen to this song, the studio version, I actually think it's really good, but I think the staging is quite off-putting. So hopefully they can overhaul that, and if they do, I think they can squeeze through. But I know you have Armenia through, and lots of people are expecting Armenia to qualify. but I can't help think of their 2019 entry, which lots of people loved, which was Walking Out. Yeah, it came like 15th or 16th in the semi-final because it was on early, just like Future Lover is, and it has a bit of a quirky song structure. It has rap elements, so I fear that Brunette could suffer the same fate and be a shock non-qualifier.
I completely disagree. So Armenia will be there. We need that song at the grand final. It's an excellent song, so the good songs needs to be there, and it's televote only. We will not even have the jury messing about, so Brunette will be there. So about Albania, I still think that she will do a better job without the family. They decided to bring her family, so I feel like the viewers will be quite destructive with all what's going on the staging with all of her family. Some of her family, they don't even, in my opinion, sing very well. So the staging, we will have to wait and see what they're planning to do with the staging. It will be important, but I wouldn't be definitely surprised if they don't qualify. So Greece, young artist, the song is quite good. He's definitely a grower. I feel like he could manage to have a great staging. Greece always deliver great stagings, and he can sing. This kid can sing, so I feel like they got Cyprus in the same semi-final. We'll get 12 points, and 12 here, 4 here, 3 there. I feel like they will manage to squeeze. I can't see them top 5 or top 6 in this semi-final, but I'm hoping to see him at the grand final.
I think Greece is one of the biggest unknowns, and I only had it just missing out purely because it's hard to predict what is going to be the live performance. But there is elements of the song which they can really bring out on the staging. There's the drumming towards the end. And it's a very current sound. It's very Lewis Capaldi, James Arthur. So I'm definitely ready to change my mind once I've seen the live performances and how Greece bring this to the stage. That's what we think is going to happen in semi-final 2, but in just under 2 weeks' time we will be in Liverpool Arena to watch the first dress rehearsal of the second semi-final. And that will be our first proper taste of seeing the live performances. So stay tuned for that and see what our predictions will change.
So guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you next video.